Hi all, hope you are happy, healthy and fine. Today we are going to talk about stages of play. So like the last time we have discussed about play, relationship based approach, and like I have promised that I'll be back with the stages of play, here I am. So I always believe that play is the main part of development of at a very basic age. We can't just force a child to do anything else, but we can tell them to go and play. And this is what they like most. And when we talk about stages of play, it usually divides into two parts, like cognitive stages of play and social stages of play. Today we are going to talk about social stages of play, and it is known as a Parton's social stages. Uh, she gave it in 1929 in her dissertation. I just wanted to tell you because at that very time there was not much awareness about autism and special education, but for the normal course of development as well, this these social stages are very important. And when we deal with kids with autism and any special need kids, it becomes more crucial because we can always find out where our child is and where we want to take them. That's why play stages are very important, be it cognitive stages or be it social stages. So the first stage of play, social state of play, is unoccupied stage, where there you'll observe some kind of movement kids are doing, uh, and it starts as early as like infancy. Infancy, you will see like an infant is just moving his legs or hands. Uh, this is the kind of unoccupied social stage. Then we come up to the next level of stage, which is known as a solitary stage, solitary play stage. In solitary play, we usually see the child will just stand alone and they'll just observe around. They'll they will not mingle with anyone. They'll not come with their toys. They'll just stay at one place and they'll just look around. That and they'll play with uh, their own toys. So they don't want to be disturbed. They are happy playing alone, and that's how solitary stage is like. And when we move next, so kids they grow sequentially, right? So from unoccupied, you will see solitary stage where they're just taking their toys and they are just standing at one place and they are playing on their own. The next level is onlooker stage, when they start slowly, steadily start observing around. Okay, how this person is doing, how person is playing. And on onlooker stage doesn't mean that they won't talk. They might comment, they might just say something, but they'll observe more or less. It is parallel play. So the child will take their toys, they'll sit next to the person, they'll play with their own toys, and another child will be playing with their own toys, and that's how they are just doing their parallel play. And there might be some kind of interaction about other things, but they are majorly involved with their own toys and they are just playing parallelly. So they'll move next stage. Will observe that child is now ready to associate with other kids. Not only the object is of object material of play is of importance, but their normal conversation becomes important. So while playing, they'll talk to each other about other stuff, or about the toys, or about general incidences, general experiences. Um, they'll start talking to each other, and that's how they become associated together. And the last stage is social stage of play. So that when we see from unoccupied to social level, you will see a proper continuum and proper hierarchy of movement of non-verbal, that they'll just increase at every level. Their language, their communication, their socialization, their interaction, their executive functioning skills, their planning, organizing, memory, recalling, lot of whatever we do with our kids, on high priority. When I talk about kids with autism, we do a lot of things. We create a lot of things, and we want to make them social, interactive. they should be ready to socialize with others, with they start playing with peer. But what we find difficult is that they are at the first and a foremost level at times, although every child differs at their own stages. But majorly kids are at the solitary play stage, and are and some are, yes, at an unoccupied state where they're just doing this, so they are just engaging in some kind of movement. And coming up, taking them at every stage is becomes, a goal. When unoccupied stage, solitary stage, where they just started playing and engaging with one thing, becomes a huge thing, because at least it's a level up. And then from solitary stage to onlooker stage, where they're just observing other person, that how they are playing, becomes a matter of concern. And right from that onlooker stage to parallel play, when they are just tolerating us next to us, they're sitting, they started sitting, they are started playing, they are observing, though they are not necessarily that they'll talk to us, but they are just sitting, means that they are somehow coming close to that stage, which is our last level, the social stage of play. So from solitary, onlooker, parallel, to associative, to make them, uh, you know, becoming ourselves a motivator, so that they can, strengthen themselves with a lot of talks, not only with objects. They start expressing their, they started commenting, they start expressing their joy. So this becomes very, very important. And the last stage is like the social stage of play, where dramatic play, construction, associate together, they are forming one thing, building up one thing together, forming a story together. It becomes a matter of concern for the kids. And suppose there are four kids in a group, or five kids in a group, coordinating that entire group. Like if I talk about a one person who is having difficulty in some kind of a communication, their association, creating that kind of association and communication and coordination with the group, becomes very, very important. So that is why every stage becomes very, very crucial when we see to the child, to the last stage, which is a social stage. So we'll see that huge impact will come automatically with the play, as their cognition and their social play both runs parallelly. And when we deal with kids with autism, it varies and it depends completely on from, child to child. But our, like I said, our goal becomes like we want to make them social, we want to make them communicative. And yeah, definitely the peer group understanding and the perception and the perspective taking, this all becomes very, very important. Take them at a social stage where they are gelling up with kids, they are forming something together, they are happy playing and interacting with other kids. So these are the social stages of play. Next time we'll be discussing about the sensory play, and yes, we'll be discussing about cognitive stages of play as well. So till then, bye bye, see you.